Okay, guys, so this is a big new section and quite another large test for Claude in this interface. So I'm on Taiwan Merch, and it is a, a Cadence expert now. So Cadence is my WordPress theme, and so I gave him access to it, and he has studied it. He knows everything about it. So look, ready for the next step? What would you like to tackle? Set up WooCommerce and the payment gateway. We'll do that later. That's easy. Create product categories. We'll do that later. It's all easy. The big test for today is this. Can he, if we go over here and we look at this, here's the web page, guys. Check it out. So I made the brand, logo, and I've set the palette, the color palette. I've set the font, and it's got basically just a contact us page, which is nothing. And then the blog has just a hello world, the standard stuff. And that's it. Other than that, I've set up a Translate Press plugin so that it will automatically translate everything to Mandarin. So anything in English will come to Mandarin, and that you can see down here. We'll be able to switch between the languages later. And other than that, I've got Rank Math Pro set so we can do our SEO. And that's it. And I want just him to do this whole thing. So we really don't know how this is going to go down, but it's probably going to be, it's going to be better if we put as much detail as possible. So thankfully, I know a little bit about this WordPress itself, and also this theme. I think that's actually quite valuable knowledge, very useful. So I'm going to set the page layout. I mean, I could easily tell him this with, I don't want to show the page title. I could go for narrow, but I'm just going to keep this. I think we're going to just keep all this set. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, I set the footer already. I did some basic work, and I've put some custom scripts, for example. No, I don't have any custom scripts. We're gonna have to adjust that in a little bit. So this will be for maybe Google Tag Manager, and also so there'll be a number of scripts we'll have to put in here. But other than that, we've got WooCommerce set up, but no products. Nothing, no products in here, and no products. And then the only pages we have are, well, these ones were set up by WooCommerce by default, but I just set up home, contact, and blog. The blog, I set the blog. Even the private spot, all these are still drafts. So we'll work with them. But so I think, let's take a moment. I'm going to take 1 second and maybe look for something that I want to mimic. All right, guys. So what I did was I just Googled, successful merch site examples, and I got a bunch here and elsewhere, and I just went through them. And it's funny because the world's best merch brands look quite weak, and that's not me just being a hater. I've been involved in e-commerce and designing brands for over 10 years, and I've done several successful brands. And yeah, it's nice to have a video like this, but it's quite dark. And I like this kind of, it looks like an owl, but it's way too small. What is this? A signature? You can't tell. It's just poor. And then this looks like it looks like a spam site, this kind of ticker. It's poor. And then they've got 2 products. The product maybe looks nice. Look at that product. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I'm thinking that's real run of the month. We've got 16 products here. Real basic. And then you just flip over to the next one. Look, something they have in common is that all of their logos are very tiny, and I'm going to say they're secondary, that they're lost. Like this is Dan TDM shop or something. So Dan TDM, I mean, the diamond concept here is cool, but it needs to be huge. And then the center, it's weird. And this is just, it's just, I'm not sure who Dan TDM is, honestly, but yeah, this is pretty weak, quite weak. The way this lays out, this is just poor, but they're all quite poor. It's just funny. Look at this. This is like this is their so-called hero banner. I see there's some kind of like, see, this has a background and these don't. It just doesn't. It doesn't look right. None of these are very colorful. This is nice. Looks like a razor blade. It's a box opener. $100 box opener. These people. And now I like this. I like this logo actually, but this is kind of mediocre, I'm going to say. And so here we are into Zach King's. Like, now this is interesting. Again, look at the tiny ass logo. And now this guy looks like he's fun. And this is he obviously thought this one out, but it looks kind of, yeah, it's okay. But then, the product's just like, yeah, really stickers, just the sticker. And this is all makeup. It's just poor. I mean, who is Zach? Zach King. Really? Yeah, really? Look at the length, the wording is tiny, and this is enormous. The cool thing about this is this video portion here, that's special. Smoosh. Okay, so this is much better. So this gets much better for me, but it's wide layout. It's full width, which they all have a pop-up of some sort. I think they're all running on BigCommerce or Shopify, so that kind of thing is just standard. This is all like cookie cutter. For them to think that this is at all kind of, like skillful or artful is laughable. These shirts look okay. Yeah, this is all standard. The whole credit card thing. This is all from BigCommerce and Shopify. And I kind of like this, but again, there's no color palette. We've got this kind of pastel green. And there it is here in the lower corner, but that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna say that these people, Ninja, okay, all of them got pop-ups. Again, this is kind of a cool layout, but for me, this is not going to be good for Taiwan merch, of course. Again, look at the logo. It's just tiny. Like, who does that? Of course, these ones that can resolve to freaking Afghanistan. It's like this is just amateur people do this kind of thing, because no one in Afghanistan or the Island Islands are buying anything. And that's nor Albania, Algeria, Andorra, Angola. None of them. This is just this is Squarespace or Wix or Webull selling you, oh, you can sell in 50 currencies. Okay, we've got one scarf here, but yeah, you just don't really know what you're selling. The actual design is secondary. You can barely see it here. Look at this thing. This is awful. And this is all right justified. You see, yeah, this is nothing. Yeah, so these are considered. This is what the internet thinks is the best in the world. Now I'm kind of okay with this, but again, look at this logo. It's awful. Again, stickers, and these stickers look all the same. Everything has got the same thing on it. What's this? Duck. This is worse than AI art. This is worse than AI art. I wish it were AI. Yeah, it's just so poor. Now this is kind of getting my way, but look again. Look at the logo. Who taught Gen Z to make logos? Like, really? And it's all left justified. Way over here is your main nav. This is all like past time, right? This is already expired. This looks okay. But again, look, see, $795. This is evidently in my currency, for, I bet you this is resolving into my currency. So, is this local currency, my local currency? I guess it is, but because who buys an $800 t-shirt? It's just so poorly done, and people think this is good. Two set, these guys look kind of like they're not sure what they're doing. Their logo is just text. And again, where's their fourth? Where's the symmetry here? Nerds, clowns. Okay, so dude, perfect. This is where we're getting kind of into my style, but again, it's full width. I don't like this full width. I would go for center, more centered focus. Again, these news ticker things, I don't know who told them that was good or useful. Completely useless. This kind of sparkling stuff, or this like snow. Someone gave them a free theme for Christmas or for winter. They just, oh yeah, let's do it. Again, Dude Perfect. I mean, Dude Perfect is a neat brand. Look, this is kind of cool, right? But it's just too small. It's just too small. It probably should put Dude and Perfect on a rectangle rather than this square 1x1 version. Yeah, free shipping. You can barely read this because of the contrast. Yeah, it's poor, but I like the way this works. These are live action, sort of lifestyles, photos, and holiday collection. I think this is okay. And then this is gifts under 25, gifts under 50, gifts under 100 would be nice. And then this, and then, yeah, this kind of, this is like a mosaic or like a masonry, headwear, sports, holiday, hoodies, youth. I think that's good. And then we've got, one line of our products, which when it resolves to the second one, we got multiple stickers. This is like front and back or an all over print. Yeah, this is not necessary. Yeah. I'm going to say that this is my favorite so far. This is my absolute favorite. Again, the credit card, the carousel with the credit cards powered by Warren James, so yeah, these people, I don't know who taught them branding, this is okay. But again, look at this. The logo is nice, but it's, well, what is it exactly? MK. So this is Marquez Brown, who is a cool cat, right? And he's a successful cat. But he's got his candle. It's like, okay, Holmes, you're a good cat though. We like you. And Mr. Beast. Oh goodness, here we go with Mr. Beast. The Mr. Beast, for me, does it. This kind of stuff is just played out here. How many pounds of food we've done and meals we've delivered. That's for, and reviews. He's got 15,000 of them, but only these 4 up here. It's just kind of an afterthought. All this is, no one gives a shit about this down here. Now this is nice, but this should be at the top, right there. All the social should be right at the top. Yeah. I love it. I love this. And Gymshark. So I'm a Gymshark. I'm a Bro Shark. Look at this tiny ass logo. I love this. This is funny. This is absolutely awesome that I could get this on, film this critique. I like this layout. They're all different products. Not very different though, Gymshark. But it's just like a Lululemon or something. It's got its thing. It's good. This is a good one too. We could do this. And I'm not sure what this is actually doing. But yeah, this should be at the top, I think. This should probably be up here. But anyway, whatever. Those are my opinions. Again, we got to know what credit card. Oh, they take Master. Did you know? Master. Okay. No one cares about that. Do they take MasterCard? Okay, so I'm going for something like Gymshark, or I would be doing Dude Perfect. So, but I don't know if I would give that to Claude here. So, yeah, Claude, I want you to start out by designing the homepage. We need a hero, we need featured categories, and we need products. We don't have any products set up. So we need to plan for that and design for a product carousel. The about section needs to be extremely brief, Testimonies. We don't have testimonies at the moment. We can make them up later, but I think we should leave this out. We need a newsletter call to action. So sign up and get big discounts by joining our newsletter now. Name, email. So you can use a form. Okay, so let's see, where was I? About section? Yeah. So we don't have testimonials. We do want a newsletter. So this is a call out. We're going to have, again, we're going to use the row layout with a section inside and 2 columns on the left or the right will be an image that you get. You're going to get from Nano Banana. And then on the other side, you're going to have a title and a call to action and a form so people can enter their name and their email. But that just brings me to one thing. Actually, I have to give you access to a workflow first in N8N so you can create images. All right, so this is one thing that we have to do. I have to actually give him access to N8N. So we're going to take a N8N. Let's go back here. And so inside, here we go. So this is it right here. So the Claude inside of the IDE will call this webhook, and then this will send a API call to replicate, which will make an image with Nano Banana. It will poll for it, wait for it to be completed, and then it will actually transform it and compress it, and then upload it to the cloud, including Airtable, and then it can send the link back to the chat. So this is what I want him to access. So we're going to say, yeah. So we're going to go back over here and say, so first, before we design the homepage, I'm going to give you access to a workflow. Here is the link. The name of the workflow is okay, guys. So I just actually finished narrating all its needs to access this this N8N image generator workflow. This is critical to making this work. So there are many ways to do this, but this one is just ultra convenient because it's compressing the images and then returning it to a place where Claude can use it and access it at any time, and we have a record and more. So I'm going to let it go. I'm going to actually send this off and see how it responds. All right. Wow. So guys, it took me a while because there was an error on my cloud-hosted Alestio instance. So I'm hosting N8N here on Alestio, and there was a Postgres error, some kind of database error. And so it was creating a bunch of, ultimately queued, but executions that I had to cancel. And so you could see like there's a million cancels, and then I tested it, finally got success. Then I had to actually do some work in the inside of the terminal. So I'm amazed that I was able to fix it, but here it is. It just worked. The image generator just worked, and it made this fun image of Taiwan's memorial, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial. It was based off of this image from Pexels, or Pixabay. But yeah, we can re-image. We could regenerate. The point is it worked. So here we are. He says, summary of what we accomplished: fire call, scraped a reference, and then Google's Nana Banana Pro created an artistic interpretation, Germanic Blue Hour Tai Chi scene with fireworks. And so, yeah, he has it here as I just showed you. So now we can go to work. Now that Claude can access my N8N and create any image he wants from Replicate, now he can start designing my Taiwan merch homepage. So that's what we'll do next. But I just wanted to check in, and that's what I've been working on this whole time. So finally, we get to move on to the next step. So everything's a go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, bro sharks and sister sharks, welcome back. So I'm hitting it again, attacking this like never before. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. Can you believe we're here? It's amazing what's going on in this world. Who would have thought it? So just to carry on from where we were last time, I was working on the Taiwan merch, and our goal is to get Claude to design the entire thing. We don't want to go into WordPress, into the dashboard, the back end there, the admin panel, and fiddle with it. Even though I quite like it, I think it's fun, but it is time consuming. And in this day and age, we don't need to be doing that. So I'm going to leverage Claude code here in the terminal as I demoed yesterday or last time. And so I began to think, okay, so yes, Claude can definitely design the WordPress website. There's no question, but is he going to do a good job? So before I start, not only should I probably have some kind of guidance for him or instruction for him about what I want, what I expect, giving some kind of parameters, it also stands to reason that he needs tools and also the knowledge. So it's wrong to assume that he can just be a good designer right out of the box. And also, if you think about it, yes, last time I gave him access to N8N and to our image generator via Replicate, so I can use Nano Banana and all the others. What are the chances that if he wants to make a call out or a hero banner with a CTA on there, oh, buy now or join or whatever it is, how likely is it that he's going to one-shot those kind of images with an image generator? We know it's possible. Ideogram is good with text. ChatGPT 1.5, the new one, they're all good, actually. They're all quite good, but are they going to do it like guaranteed? And so this whole process is about elevating or increasing the chances of success and avoiding error and so forth. So it dawned on me that I need to A, give him the correct tools, and B, give him the right skills before I even tell him what I expect or want. So I did some searches online, and I came up to, I actually searched, I think it was used Claude for, let's see, graphic designer skill in Claude code. So there's something called a skill, and that is basically just a prompt that gives Claude a specific skill. So I thought, well, first things first, I need to give him the skill to be a good designer. And look, lo and behold, here on Claude's website, or on the Anthropic website, they actually have a skill designing, describing just this. So, this person, they're giving a sample prompt. So I do all these things, and I want you to start with, it's basically instructing Claude how to be a good designer. And so there is sort of like a back and forth here. And so they created uh, basically a kind of generic skill, graphic design skill, and it has these elements: design interrogation, technique catalog, reference library, and so on. And so I thought, okay, well, I need to do this, but how will I do it? So I jumped into actually, I jumped into the Claude desktop and I said, hey, Claude, let's create a skill together using your skill creator. And the reason why I did this is I don't want to pollute uh, Claude code in Kiro over here. So in my Taiwan merch project, I don't want to be bantering on with Claude about these kind of nebulous topics because it will just pollute his mind. So I use the desktop app, which I'll have you know at this point I think is almost worthless. But you know what? It serves it has a role right here when I need just, one-offs or sort of unrelated to some other context to get something done. And look what I've done here. So he's like, yeah, let's do it together. I want the graphic designer skill. And so he starts going on. And so I give him a little thing like, okay, I'm doing Taiwan merch. And see, this one even has some sort of pollution with context because he has all of my past dialogue, and so he knows about a bunch of other things that I'm doing, all of my background. So we got here, We Love Horoscope and Orion Tactical Gear and Custom Creative, and he knows that I do Canva stuff. So it's kind of polluted as it is. But look, it just dawns on me, okay. So his response is like, okay, you can use Canva. And I thought, okay, great. So that's right. I should give him a tool. He needs a tool like Photoshop or Canva so that he can plan, okay, here's the background image, here are the elements or the design theories, and then we want text embedded, or inline. And so that's like a whole different thing. That's not what we can expect an image generator to do. And so he immediately brings up Canva. I'm like, okay, wow. Okay. I know that I can give Claude access to Canva. So that I'm like, wow. And then he suddenly asks, or he suddenly actually see, I actually said, if I don't give Claude Canva, he's not going to be able to be a good graphic designer. Can he do this? And so he mentions this Python with Pillow for text overlays. So that immediately tells me that there is something in Python that gives programmatic image creation, which is just what I want. So this is even better than Canva. So at first I didn't realize what it was, and we went on, and we continued to have our so then so then I didn't even actually realize it, and he mentions it again. And so the real solution here, look, see, he wants the AI to generate the Taiwan landscape. And see, this is actually brilliant. This is like really thoughtful. But anyway, he mentions Python Pillow and ImageMagick. So I immediately go and ask him, what is this Pillow example? So, and look, this is where Pillow is basically Python library for image manipulation. Think of it as Photoshop via code. That's exactly what I want. So I go right into him and we go through this thing, and he teaches me how to install it in the WSL, the Ubuntu, the terminal here, essentially this guy right here, the WSL right here, the terminal. So I go ahead and I install this in, and I get him going. So now he has those so I give him the MCP for Canva, so he can use Canva, and then I give him the Python script using Pillow. And so that's just like really raising the bar and giving him all the tools possible. And it wasn't until much later that I had come back here to study this that I realized that he created another one. That he mentioned another one. And so I went down here, and what I wanted to find out was what is ImageMagick? Yep. So I come back in here and I say, what is ImageMagick? And he's like, ImageMagick is a command line tool for image manipulation. So think of it as Pillow's older, more powerful cousin that runs directly in your terminal instead of through Python. So that's even more power or more skill or more tools. But I wanted, so he gives, okay, what is he juxtaposed them and compare and contrasts them. And so he's giving me, what they're doing good, so I don't really understand the specific differences, but then so I ask him a more pointed question, and I think this is worth everyone looking, is will they be complementary or will they conflict? So this is prompt engineering, I think, and it goes back to that whole idea that I don't want to pollute him. And he said completely complementary, zero conflict. So, and he tells me why. So I immediately go to follow his, look, I ask him to install it, and then I do this. I follow the commands right inside the terminal in WSL, which I just showed you, and it's installed. It's installed. So here it is. This is actually me installing ImageMagick. And so actually, I confirm with Claude just prior. So I said, oh, I can believe that you have access. So I prompt Claude and I say, you are a master graphic designer now. I think you have Python dependency, Python Pillow, and the skills, the graphic designer skills. Okay, so let's quickly go over the skills. So let me jump back over here to this and grab. So we're in the skills. And so, yeah, I get him to follow this prompting. I give him this, and then he wants to, yeah, he wants to create it for me for Taiwan merch, but I ask him to just keep it agnostic and generalized, just the vanilla version, because I want to have a version to give my other projects. So now I can make all of my projects a graphic designer. So this is the last thing. So we're creating a skill.markdown file, and it's created. We can just point it out right here. It comes in under Claude, and then in skills, and then graphic designer, and then inside of graphic designer is all of these references. So we can just study them one at a time here. And you can see here are the references. If we click on them, each one has his philosophy. So this is giving him background, and this is giving him context. Good is not good enough. Good is not good enough. And design for the scan, not for the read. These are all beautiful things. And then I actually went through each one and I looked them over. See, these are all generic. What I would do is change them for Taiwan merch. I would give him the color palette, or we can edit that later. But the point, one of the final points was that I wanted to give him the natural patterns. So this is another big thing that a lot of you guys don't know about, is the so-called golden ratio, the rule of thirds, Fibonacci, and then even I learned here about Voronoi, which is Teslization, which is sort of creating a geometric mosaic with tiles. So these are the natural patterns that occur in nature and make for great layout and symmetry. So we can't miss these things. And then literally, Claude actually teaches me how to install it. Okay, yeah. So just to give everyone the background of the Claude skills for the graphic designer, yeah, he basically created them here, and he actually set up the file folders. So they're in Claude, in skills, in graphic designer, and then here they are. And he even told me how I actually downloaded them here in a zip file. And then inside of the terminal, I ran this command and it created automatically this set of here. So that gets everybody up to speed. Basically, now Claude has a bunch of skills that make him a complete designer. And he also has tools in Canva. He has uh, the Python pillow dependency and also ImageMagick. So this is really quite something. So that brings everyone up to speed. And here we are back in Taiwan Merch, about to accomplish our goal. And if you can see, I've actually added the MCP. So we've got a Firecrawl and Canva. And so we are 100% ready to roll. Okay, guys, so now that we are ready with everything we need, there's only one more thing to think about, and that is, what is it that we want him to give us? Or rather, what kind of style of website do we want? Now, in the previous module, I went through a bunch of websites that were supposedly famous or popular or successful, even Mr. Beast's merch site. And I decided briefly that I would ask ChatGPT. So again, here I am in the desktop app asking it. So I asked them, tell me some nicely designed websites that sell merch, swag, memorabilia, nostalgia, music, sports gear, gifts, collectibles, and the like. So we wanted to study them for design and potentially mimic their style. And he comes up with a bunch, and so I ask him to list them out, and I visit them. So here they are. So let's just quickly go through this. So look, very interesting. This is very, very useful to see what other so-called, the cool kids are doing, the influencers, so-called, what people are perceived to be successful are doing. And so, this looks like something that we would, model ourselves after. And this is not bad at all. It's just, well, I'd say that it's fun that this is more my style. Again, they love this ticker style. Evidently, this is a thing, this kind of moving ticker tape function or module, this plugin. And then their logo is, I like the font. I really like this. It seems like this one needs a little bit of an icon. And again, it's way over here on the left, so I'm not sure what they're thinking. And then there is no hero banner or hero image, which is very, I'll say, uncommon. But they've got a a CTA here. This is something to do with Spotify. This may be even like related to Spotify, official partner. So yeah, this is on another level here. This is not just anybody. This has got professional full-time developers on it. Okay, that's important to note. Now we come into Rockabilia. Now this one actually is kind of my thing. This is a little bit weird. Again, you can't read this, but this is a nice logo. This is actually very much my style. Look at it; it's black and white. I can. This is kind of what we'd call that masonry. I think this is actually pretty good, but I wouldn't say that it's like amazing or anything. When we're talking about putting the entire alphabet on your site, yeah, So this is all right. And then here we are into House of Merch. So as you can see on here we are. So obviously you see this doesn't resolve for a huge monitor, which is no big deal, right? How many people, this is a 35-inch monitor. How many people have that? But you can see where they're at. Again, these skull caps, very, very low volume kind of product. And these are very, specifically focused. Yeah. I'm going to say that, these kind of cards are nice. I like this art. This is AI art. Yeah, it's going to be so-so, but are you seeing something here? There's nothing like dynamite, and okay, let's go into indie merch. This is fun. I like the green. This is very clear and you can read it. This has got a nice carousel. This is a little bit dark. They've got black overlays over everything, which I think is totally unnecessary. But it is what it is. I think that the vinyl should just be 1 or 2 records. T-shirts should be 1, 2, 3 T-shirts, not this whole mess. Bestsellers, what's in here. It's just kind of like busy and messy. There was just a big announcement here. Yeah, this kind of thing, this kind of thing right here where it takes a few shapes. This is the wrong place to be doing this, is telling people in this kind of in the banner, oh, your shipping may not be, maybe late a few days. That's just the wrong place to be doing that. This is just a mess. 6, it makes all the products extremely small. You cannot get any kind of impulse spotting here, so your users can't really see, is this for me, is this for me, does this really pull on my heartstrings? No. And records, again, yeah, we don't even know what this is. Cattle decapitation custom, it's a crossbody bag. All right, very nice. But there's just rows and rows, rows and rows and rows, and then we've got this just okay. This is a dynamic module here, and then whatever this is, right? It's the end of the road. Like, oh, this doesn't. We don't expect too many people to see this, right? But this kind of thing actually would probably do better way up here, because then you've got your fans. You can, oh yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I love this. I love checking this out because, this is nice. This is actually nice, but look, there's all this space here. Why is this just hanging out here? And then there's all this space here. Maybe we can, yeah, there's just a giant space, tons of space, totally unnecessarily. This is good. This actually, when the way this appears right here, it actually, see that? That's kind of like some flash or animation. So this is actually custom. That is kind of what I want. And I can get that on Kadence. We'll see later if Claude can do that kind of thing, because this kind of button might be able to be created. We'll see if we can create it dynamically. Again, records. This is more nice and clear with the white background. I like this a lot better, but yeah, there's 6, 8, 10 rows. This is also defeating your load speed. But this, of course, is on some super fast server, Shopify server or BigCommerce server, because here we go, the blog roll of oh, they take Venmo. Guess what? They take Visa. I bet you were wondering. Oh yeah, we're just okay. Back in, look at this. This is a very nice logo, but it's tiny. And I just don't know what's wrong with this, So all in pre-order FAQ. So this is like, this is their kind of disclaimer here. And so this is their logo, which is really nice, but it's super tiny right there. Can't see it. Everything's spread out. So, if you want to go over here to the menu, you want to go over to your cart, it's like, I kind of like these things. And again, the white background is probably where we need to be. This is a little bit thing, but these are a little bit nicer, but they're just, single row products. This again, I like this. So I'm only seeing hit and miss here. Now we got hot topic. So this is just like, this is going for the cheap, it's cheap. This is all just sale, like trying to this is very impulsy. We got Garfield, we got stickers. I like this. This is not bad. Obviously, they've got, the ability to put Disney on here. I'm not sure, what that means. Stranger Things. These are all big brands. Yeah, this is absolutely useless right here. Something probably for SEO. Yeah, but I like how the header here is kind of compact. And so you get all your information right here. Boom, boom, boom. This is it's responsive. This mega menus. This is all right. This is all right. Fanatics. Okay, we're back onto this. Okay, this is a big time brand. So we've got actual professional sports leagues, but very interesting. So this is the college football playoffs are going on right now. So that's why they put that there. These are nice, but these are professional. This is a professional photographer did this. Also this is professional photography, even though it's a little bit wrinkled. This is professional photography. And yeah, this could be created with AI right here. I'm going to say, so, and back to Fanatics Authentic. So look, we've just taken about 8 or 10 look, and I think that was real worth it to see the aesthetic of 2026 aesthetic of the brands that are being seen as the successful ones, the leaders. They're showing up in ChatGPT. These brands are at the top of AI's mind. And so you got to believe that they are, perceived as winners. And we just did an examination of what they're doing, and none of it is like killing it. I think some things are good, but none of it is killing it. So what I want to say is, after all that, I'm honestly not sure what kind of reference we can give Claude to make our Taiwan merch site. So I'm kind of a little bit hesitant, let's say, to go forward, because without a strong reference, I'm not sure what will happen. But that said, over here in my references, we do have a reference library, and I'm pretty sure that he has been told to check Apple and Stripe and other major brands. Yes, look, Stripe, Linear, Apple, Vercel, and Notion. And these are the biggest names on the net, some of them in the world, in design and so forth. And so we know that he has some idea of what he should get inspiration from. I think we might just leave it at that and see how it goes. All right, so I'm just gonna break off. That was like whatever, 10, 12 minutes of commentary. I think that's kind of worth it to share with everybody. I hope to hear your comments. I'd like to hear what you think. So cheers, guys, appreciate that. Test, test, test. All right, guys, so here I am back to do the homepage for TaiwanMerch.com. You're coming with me to see exactly what is possible at this stage in the world. 2026, it's unbelievable what we can do, and I'm going to prove it to you right now that we can have AI completely design our website from beginning to end, create an entire business without touching it, just by our words, just by using language. And of course, I'm using Whisperflow because it's way, way more efficient to speak your prompts than to type them, obviously, but it gets way obvious the more you do. So as you could probably note, or you realized in the last section, that I have no idea what kind of reference I should give ChatGPT, or rather Claude. I don't know what kind of reference to give the AI to say, hey, make something like this, or copy that, or mimic that, imitate that style. So what I did was I know from my own design experience that basically, we know we need a hero banner. We know we immediately want some sort of CTA with a form. And then right after that, I'm going to just go right into the categories. And I used Printful to I used this right here to give me the inspiration. So this is a print-on-demand company, and we'll actually provide some of our products. And so look, they have it already broken down a bit. So I decided to go right with this, and I chose to do 2 rows of 3. The category cards, they will be cards, and t-shirts and hoodies, wall art. So we'll have these, and these are all very nice. Headgear, so hats, home living. This is all great stuff. Accessories, and then various. So we're gonna combine kids, pets, and other odds and ends. So we'll see what it does with this. Now, I went ahead and actually queried. I gave this directly to the LLM and asked him to add to it, and we came up with another 5th and a 6th row. I think that these are probably useful and valuable, is to immediately show the visitor who we are and why we're doing it. And so I've got a couple headline and subtext. We'll see how he treats this. So I want him to be using the ImageMagick and the pillow software to construct this. That would be really nice. And then the last one is what we stand for left and why shop with us on the right. So I thought row, section, and 2 columns. And then I'm giving him these kind of like reasons to trust us or reasons to buy with us. So in the end, I actually fed that to the LLM, and he gave me the prompt to put into Claude. So we're just going to go with this, guys. And maybe I'm going to adjust it just briefly with, I want, so I'm going to actually probably pop this into a new, because I want him to actually use in the CTA, I want yes, see actually homepage. This is a little bit with a form. We want, so we definitely want that. Hopefully this, okay, so I'm going to collect that, and then we're going to pop on over here to Kiro. And so I'm in my Taiwan merch as I've been explaining. And so I'm going to say, so, all right, Claude, the moment of truth has arrived. You have access to the taiwanmerch.co WordPress website. You are a expert graphic designer. You have these skills. You also have access to Python Pillow and to ImageMagick. You even have tools like Canva. Your task is to go into the WordPress site and to completely design the entire homepage. If you need to generate images, you know how to do that. You have your N8N generate images with Replicate for Taiwan Merch N8N workflow. If you need to overlay text, you know how to do that. You have access to the entire WordPress, Kadence, PHP, and theme files. If you want to know how it works, you can directly reference it. You can use buttons and forms and the carousel. You could make an info box or some kind of masonry or category cards. You are to go slow. You are to think step by step. This is very important. Now, I have created a sample structure, and you have the authority to change it as you see fit. The sample structure has roughly 6 rows, and each one will have a purpose. They are hero banner, which could be a carousel, containing 2 to 4 images that will slide every 6 seconds, followed by a next row with some kind of call to action and form to hook the visitor to give his name and email to join our community or get a coupon code, followed by 2 rows of 3 category cards. And you have the list of categories we will be offering. Then we will have 2 more rows, basically telling the visitor why they should be shopping with us, and what is it? And the last one is why should they be shopping with us? And yeah, designed to and our values and yeah. So what is the exact? Yeah, let's go back over here. So yeah, who we are and why Taiwan merch. Basically, who we are and why Taiwan merch. Okay, here is the layout. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask me. So I'm going to give a colon like that and a space. Then I'm going to go grab this guy here and grab this right here. Control A, Control C, Control V, and look, 86 lines, tidily pasted in. And here we go, everybody. So this is what we've been waiting for. So let's see how it goes. Okay, guys, so he's already coming back with some interesting stuff. So I'll just share with everyone. Look at this. This is a very nice, this is very common in Claude code in the terminal like this, in Cursor or in an IDE. They will often give you some questions in this format. And so it's quite different from what you're used to, the AI desktop apps or AI in the browser. So he's asking me, for the hero images, what visual style would you like? Photorealistic, artistic illustrated, or mixed collage style? That's just very cool. We could go with anything here. I think I will do the mixed collage style, enter, and then see how it, email form, Sendy, Sendy actually, so we will use a Kadence form. And by the way, I just want to make sure that he's using the Kadence form. As for the settings inside, they will need CAPTCHA, which is within the WordPress site. You could get the ID, the site ID, and the secret key within the plugin itself inside of WordPress. Otherwise, we want it just to be sent to email for now. Yes, eventually we'll send it to Sendy. Yes, we want to send it to Sendy. Hopefully that's not too much for him. I'm not sure exactly. I'm kind of waffling between making sure that he knows everything without overwhelming. So yeah, we'll see. So go to the next one. And we'll go, yep. So then we'll go to category image. Okay, should I generate custom category cards or use product mockup? Use custom. I think we should do custom. I think custom, yeah. And submit, okay, boom. So that was nice. All right, so we'll see what happens. Let's carry on. Okay, guys, so it's been, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, and we've gone through a lot. He created all the images, and so at the moment right now, all images are uploaded, and he says, let me build the homepage content. So we're well on our way. We'll see in just a few minutes what he's capable of doing. So this is quite exciting. Okay, guys, so it's been, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or so. It wasn't extremely quick, but it did actually finish the job. And so here is the final. So it tells me I still have to create, of course, the categories and the captcha keys. And so we've got everything out. Let's take it out. Let's take a look. Okay, where is it? And well, wow. There you go. Not bad. I mean, look at that. Pretty cool. There's so we see that we need some sort of padding here. There looks like some sort of black line here. This looks all right. Maybe we could compress it or style this a little bit better. These look pretty good. This looks like maybe he didn't use Nano Banana. Maybe we would have to change these because they're not actually realistic, but this one is okay. We might have to change these actually. And that could be, so he asked us about a mock-up, and then let's see, and shop all products. Of course, that doesn't go anywhere. Oh, great things are on the horizon. Yeah. And so, yeah. All right. So that's just fantastic. So here you go, guys. I mean, if you didn't want to create a WordPress site, well, then you don't have to. This absolutely demonstrates beyond a shadow of a doubt that the AI inside of the terminal can create your site flawlessly and quite quickly. So let's just carry on from that. I don't know. Maybe I'll change some of these things. Maybe I'll uh, tidy up this. Let's go over to this actual site and go to my pages and choose the home page. And here we go. So I'm not sure why there is something here. These ones. So this, yeah, this black usually is some sort of, like we can adjust it by adding a negative margin. I'm not sure why. This probably has something to do with the aspect ratio of the images. That's that's what I think. But in the meantime, we can come in here to this right here and add something like -20 or -30. And so that takes care of that. And then here we can actually, looks like there's some space. There's a spacer here. This, I see that, you see, he didn't use the actual title from Kadence. So this is actually not a Kadence block. So that's maybe something that we need to uh, tell him, that he's only allowed to use Kadence blocks. So yeah, the Kadence blocks are this one. So I can make it there and maybe get rid of this one. And then, yeah, get rid of this. So we've got some extra padding right in there. Let's see, coming over here, and yeah, see, the top has some extra padding. Also, the bottom has some padding. These ones maybe, that's another thing. Yeah, see, he's not using the Kadence titles, which is actually kind of important. So that's a nice thing to know. These ones we want to make a little bit bigger. Uh, I would want them to be bigger. So add after and just use the text, which is this one, and then the Kadence titles, and then we can make them center. Also, looks like they're also inheriting the blue color, which is what we would want. That's right. So I can come in here, I can press copy styles. Oh, but this one actually has to be, so I'm gonna just add it quickly like this, and then boom, yeah, paste style. Okay. Let's see if we can actually copy the whole block. Copy and then duplicate. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay. So I'll just tidy these up. But yeah, guys, oh my gosh, look at this. This is, I mean, I didn't have to do anything. And it made my my homepage just like I wanted it to as well. I'll have to also check on, yep, it looks like he added a couple things. So we'll have to definitely tell him that he's not allowed to use any block that's not a Kadence block. Okay, that's a good lesson from this. We need to forbid him from using any block that's not Kadence. But all in all, I am absolutely stunned that we can do this. This takes away all the pain. Now, is it the world's best design? I guess not. But especially because the images we have to change. So that is what we'll do next. We can actually use natural language to change the images. And so there we go. Make sure that these are the same size. I think they are. Yeah. And oh yeah, so see again, we went a little bit of So he keeps using, see, the reason for all this sort of non-standard look, actually that was probably like that one. Yeah. The reason for this non-standard look is because he's using the blocks from core. So all of these blocks would need to change. And so that's the big takeaway, is that we need to limit him to using only cadence blocks. So here we need to go back over here to custom. Let's take a look at the library. Yeah, so looks like he repeated them. See, 13 by 768. 13 by 768. I'm not sure that's 3 by 2. 3 by 2. 3 to 2. Is that what we are? 3 to 2. Let's come over here. Yeah, that's what these are. But there's some sort of extra. Okay, but let's come over here. And so this is a little bit crowded here. So I'll just come right in here and I will just bump up this height to 120, 30. Yeah, 125 maybe. And there we go. Take a look at this. So the gallery, carousel settings. Oh, yeah. Carousel autoplay. Yeah. Yeah. So he didn't use any text overlay, which is, it would have been nice. So now we can experiment. We can say, all right, then what can you do? How can we improve this? But I think that it's actually pretty good. Well, maybe we want this button over here or something. Let's see. Check on the button and maybe want it left justified. I'm not sure. Small input size, border width, submit styles. Not sure why it is left justifying. Ah, here it is. Yeah. Or right justifying. Excuse me, right justifying. Yeah, there we go. I think that is better. And yeah, we want to change these up. So I'm going to just change these up real quick off camera. But the next thing I need to do is import to make a rule that so looks good. We need to make a few rules for how you use WordPress. You should only use Kadence blocks. Do not use any of the core WordPress blocks. Please make a rule, record, and document this. So there we go. All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this one up now, and you've just seen it, that in a matter of minutes you can have a whole website created for you without any effort. Obviously, we have to come in there and teach it what to do and tell it what we want. So this is a great start. I hope that was helpful and enlightening to everybody. So let's stay after it. I will update you on the next one. All right. Take care, guys. All right, bro sharks, welcome back. Here I am tackling another big day of automating Claude code in the command line, in the terminal, in the IDE. It's where it's at for 2026. Guys, you have to be using Claude within the terminal here. It makes AI a whole different story. It takes it to a whole new level. So you've just been watching my video demonstrating how I'm doing this. And if you paid attention, you probably saw that I was able to completely build out my Taiwan merch company website. AI did this for me from beginning to end. And I'm here just to finally demo the fact that it made these incredible banners. And again, they're using Python Pillow, which is supposedly
Photoshop for the terminal, and ImageMagick, which is another command line interface image editing tool that AI can use without anything else. It's totally free, and it's doing things like this. Look, it made all of this for me. All I had to do was tell it what aspect ratio, what I want. Sometimes I have to give it some inspiration, but just to give you an idea, it did this for my John Jones brand as well. You can see right in here, it's been making images. I just said, go look at my site and make a new banner image for me. And boom, here it is. Look at this. Everything is perfect. And this is not even using any image generation. This is not using image generation of any kind. No ChatGPT, no Midjourney, no Nano Banana, nothing. AI made this in the command line, in the terminal for me, just by asking. And so this is stunning. It's actually unbelievable that we can do this. And I'm trying to share it with everybody because this will change your life. This will change everybody's life. This makes things absolutely, it's a game changer. It really levels the playing field. People that can't build a website, people that aren't technical, can potentially level up with people who are. So I actually just wanted to show you how I did it. We originally got, in the original video, it made these kind of design element images, and they weren't bad. But I went ahead and asked it to make me photorealistic ones. So it went to these. And then I thought, well, that's a little bit plain. Let's get some text overlay. So I asked him to use his capabilities, and he did these different styles for me. And I thought, well, not bad, not bad. Okay, but look at this. And he makes a mistake. I just tell him, no, the banner needs to encapsulate the text. And then he did it. And then he did another one, mistake, turned it to red, did another one, but it's in the very middle. So I said, okay, we need it at the lower third. And finally he did it. Look at that, just boom. So he made a couple ugly ones. And I'm like, what on earth is that all about? He tried to mimic the one from John Jones AI. Couple bad ones. And then he came upon this, which was absolutely fabulous. Look, he manipulated some of the images that he had created before and then started to make them in this kind of artful style. Keep in mind, guys, he did all of this, all this text, and this is not, he manipulated these images. This was not AI. He did it using tools. So look at this. Look at this. Not a single error. Nothing weird. And then I ended up making it in 3x2. I said, okay, we need to center the text, and we need to make it in 3x2 in terms of aspect ratio. And that's where we are now. It's absolutely stunning. So originally, you may remember that we had a boy and his dog, but it wasn't really quite nice. We can take a look at it over here. Remember, this was the original one. So it was okay. It was okay. But we did it, we redid it. And then the lady in the original image was carrying this tote bag, but this was made by kind of a very elementary or kind of a weak image generator called Black Forest Labs Flux Pro, but they have a Flux Pro 2 now. So I asked it to use that one, and in fact, actually use Nano Banana. And it came up with some like this. Actually, this is the sample I give it to reference, but it came up with this in the end. And that's just actually awesome. I mean, I would actually want that. And so again, I gave it some hats, created some Taiwan hats, some Taiwan wall art. Yep, we put the t-shirts and the hoodies, and then this is lifestyles or accessories. Look, we got a mug, we got a towel, we got more wall art. So that's where we're at with that. Oh, very nice. But I didn't actually get it in the right aspect ratio. I needed 2x3. So anyway, I did all of this in the command line, all of this in the terminal right here. In the very end, you can see I'm just coming, all right, let's do that again. The banner's not long enough to encapsulate the text. That's all I'm doing, going back and forth with it. All right, that is okay, but it's a little bit simplistic, sort of like a child would make. Let's redo it. And then so he comes in here and redoes it. Oh, that is extremely poor. Okay, so we go through a few more iterations. And look, he can use Canva. So I challenge him to do a better job. And at the very end here, he puts it all together. Now we said, the text in the left side, when it resolves for mobile, that text gets blocked. So I asked him to put it in the center of the image. Yep. Yeah, if the banners are in 69, so that's why it displays in the carousel on advanced gallery. So guys, this is better, but you're changing the aspect ratio. So sometimes he'll create an error and you just have to ask him to change it. But then he does all three. Look, one, boom, he did it. And then all finished. So this is just absolutely, I'm going to say it's shocking and stunning that he can do such a thing without any input from myself, other than just using WhisperFlow to give him commands with my mic. So this is where we're at. Now, what I'm going to do is with Taiwan Merch, I'm going to tie in some of the lessons that I was giving in the previous videos, where we have this kind of content pipeline and we're doing products. So all I do is load up a product. I give it a title, I give it a color, I load its artwork and its mockups, and I give it a price, some pricing and sizing information, such as sizes. I say, okay, we want this in extra small and small and medium, that kind of thing. And then we can also give it notes. Okay, the prices are $24.99 to $26.99 and so forth, and let it go. It will upload. It will create the WooCommerce product, and then it will also create the product on Printful and Merchize, so that you can send out the order when someone buys one. So this is all done automatically and without any input. You just need to look, and even this element, we could probably automate this part too. Right now, we're in the beginning of this whole thing, so I'm just loading it up by hand and then letting it take it from here. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. I think that this is revelatory. It's something completely new. Almost no one out there knows what's going on here or how to do this. And because this is an IDE and made for coders, regular normies like us would reject it and think that it's too difficult for them. But we're not actually coding. We're just using the interface that it's integrated in is liberated. So the one way to think about it is the browser, the desktop app, the browser AI, like we're accustomed using, this thing here, is a wrapper or a playground. It is a package. It is a sandbox. It is limiting you. And so you can't call out and you can't interact with tools freely. But once you put it inside of this interface, it's unleashed. And so I'm going to invite all my friends, all my associates, anyone who I get who is willing to listen to me. I'm going to show them this and continue to develop this and see just exactly what's possible with this kind of ability. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to cap this off. So here we are after just an hour, I've got a completely finished site, and I'm ready to start actually putting products in this thing. Okay, guys, so I hope you like that, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.